The PHP is a server-side programming language, okay, and here we have few introduction about the server-side development. So the basic hosting of your files is achieved through web server. Okay, when you develop a website, you will host your website. Okay, all the files, okay, related to PHP or HTML or JavaScript in a web server. Okay. So you have GoDaddy. So there are several web servers which will be available where you can pay and you host your websites. Okay. Server-side development is much more than web hosting. Okay. It involves the use of programming technology. So here, when you write a server-side program, it involves a programming technology like PHP, or you can also develop the websites using ASP.NET, okay, to create scripts that typically generate the content. Okay. So when you develop a program, you can use this server-side language. Okay. These two are competitive server-side language that is used for developing the websites. Okay. Your software runs on the web server and uses this protocol. So we use HTTP protocol. The HTTP request and response loop for most interaction with the client. So whenever we interact with the client, there is interaction between the client, that is your browser, and the server. We use this HTTP hypertext protocol. Okay, transfer protocol is used for sending the request and getting the response. So this is the diagram which we already saw in the previous slides. Okay. So here it says client script execution. So you can see here the execution of the JavaScript takes place at the browser end. Okay. So here we are requesting the JavaScript file from the server. Server will give you the JavaScript file, and here you will execute the JavaScript file. But whereas if you see here, okay, your execution of the PHP program, okay, it is at the server side. Okay, server will execute the PHP code, not the browser. Okay, so that is the difference between the client side programming language and the server side programming language. Okay, here execution is at the browser end, but whereas in PHP the execution is at the server end. Okay. So this is the difference between the client and server script. You can go through this. Okay. So here execution is at the browser, here it is at the server. No guarantee that the client will be able to execute the program. Here the server is guaranteeing that the server will execute your programming language. Client script can manipulate the HTML or DOM. Okay, for example, we saw how JavaScript can be used for changing the style, adding attributes and all. Okay, server script cannot manipulate the HTML or DOM concepts. Okay, so PHP cannot be used for changing the style and all. So that is not supported by the server-side programming language. So that is a benefit of your client-side JavaScript. Okay. So client script cannot access the resources on the web server. So using your JavaScript, you cannot connect to the database. You cannot alter the tables in the database. But for that, we have to make use of server-side scripting language or server-side programming language, where you can access the resource, you can connect to the database, you can update the table, you can add the rows in the table. Okay, all manipulations can be done using this PHP programming language. Okay. And this is a diagram we have. You can see here, this is your script input, that's a PHP code. It can interact with the database, interact with the web server, interact with the files, can be connected to the mail server or any other software. So your PHP code can interact with all these resources. Okay. So server side script resources. So these are all resources that we have that the PHP code can interact. So here we'll be listing a few other server-side technology. So one such technology is PHP. Okay, PHP is a server-side technology. So apart from PHP, what other server-side technologies we have? So initially going for the first one, we have ASP. Okay, so you might have heard about ASP. So ASP stands for Active Server Page. Okay, so ASP code. Okay, now people don't use ASP. Okay, this technology is outdated technology, but previously people used to use ASP technology for developing server-side programming language. So ASP code can be embedded within HTML, okay, and programming code is interrupted at the runtime. Okay. So ASP programming language is very slow, okay, interacting with the database, okay, executing or fetching any data from the server, it is comparatively slow. So after ASP, next comes your ASP.NET. Okay. So this is ASP.NET, which is developed by Microsoft, and they use .NET framework. Okay. So here, similar to your C# .NET, okay, or VB.NET, this is also make use of .NET framework. Okay. And they can use any .NET programming language. So you, along with this ASP.NET, we can make use of VB.NET, or we can combine with C# .NET. Usually people develop websites using this, okay, ASP.NET with the combination of C# .NET, okay, or people make use of VB.NET plus ASP.NET. So ASP.NET, if you see, right, it is similar to your HTML, okay. So if your people are interested, you can go through this ASP.NET. So this is also one of the interesting and very simple concepts, okay, for developing the website, but very interesting concept like your HTML. So you can add the tags. Okay, using this ASP.NET, it is possible to connect to the database also. Okay, so uses explicit object-oriented approach. The ASP.NET pages are compiled into an intermediate file format. Okay, so ASP will be converted into Microsoft Intermediate Language. Okay, it is similar to your Java bytecode. Okay. Then here we use a compiler, okay, just-in-time compiler. You have studied, I think, in the C#. Okay, and C# .NET. Okay, .NET. You might have heard about this compiler, just-in-time compiler. So just-in-time compiler is used to compile this MSI language, okay, Microsoft Intermediate Language code into machine code, okay, so that its performance can be excellent. Okay. So it is like a flow. So you have ASP.NET code that will be converted into Microsoft Intermediate code, and then this compiler will convert that into machine code. Okay. So ASP.NET is essentially limited to Windows Server, so that is a drawback. Okay, you can say we cannot use your Apache server for this ASP.NET. If you are executing or if you are developing your um, website using ASP.NET, you have to make use of Windows Server. There are different types of servers. Okay, Windows Server, Apache server, IIS servers, okay, Internet Information Server. So there are different servers. Okay, so for that, if you are using ASP.NET, you have to make use of Windows Server because it is of Microsoft. Okay, so Microsoft supports only Windows Server. So using this, we can perform different tasks like we can perform validation, okay. Then we can perform database interaction, database driven list, form validation, user registrations. Okay, so this is one of the powerful language. You can also develop your websites mini project using this language ASP.NET. Okay, plus you can use either you can use VB.NET or you can go for C#.NET. Okay, using this two language you can develop beautiful websites. Okay, but you have to go for Windows Server. Next one is JSP. So JSP, it uses Java as a programming language. Okay, so here we use Java programming language for developing the websites. So it is used for large enterprise websites. Okay, so here we use J2 EE environment or J2 EE environment. Okay, so here the compiler used is just-in-time compiler for fast execution and in cross-platform execution. Okay. So next server-side language is Node.js. Okay. Node.js. Okay. So here in the Node.js, we will be using JavaScript. Okay. So here we are using it's an advanced concept of advanced topic in JavaScript, okay, which is Node.js, which is used for server-side connections. Okay. So JavaScript we call it as a client plus server-side scripting language. Okay. It is not simply a client-side scripting language. It is also called as server-side scripting language because we can modify your JavaScript code to connect to the servers. Okay. So one such advanced concept is Node.js. Also, is its own web server. Okay, here it has its own web server software, thus eliminating the need for Apache or any other web server. So here it has got its own server software. So next is Perl. So this is also a server-side uh, web development programming language. Okay. So, so in Perl we use a gateway. Okay. So between your Perl code and your web server, okay, between that there is a gateway that we call it as common gateway interface. Okay. So it is like an API. So in this gateway, you have enormous API functions. Okay. Enormous functions for communication between the application and the web server software. So between this, okay, so this is your Perl code. Okay. So Perl code, if you want to interact with your web server, okay, it has to make use of, it has to use the APIs or the functions which is there in this gateway. Okay, maybe connecting to the software or connecting to special files. So everything should be done using this. Okay. So you can also develop your website using this Perl. Okay. Next comes PHP, which you will be studying in detail. So Perl is a dynamic typed language because you don't specify here the type of the variable. You simply declare the variable with a special symbol that is dollar. Okay. So it is a dynamic type language that can be embedded directly within HTML. So in the lab, we saw how we can embed your PHP code within HTML. Okay. So it supports common object-oriented features. The PHP supports creation of classes, creation of inheritance. So you'll be studying about this in your module 4. Okay, so PHP pages are compiled into an intermediate representation. Okay, so PHP code will be converted into opcode. Okay, so originally PHP was standing for the full form of PHP was initially personal home page. Okay, but now it is called as hypertext preprocessor. Okay. So next comes about Python. So you have already studied about Python. So I do not go in detail about this Python. So Python can also be used for developing. It's a server-side programming language. It can also be used for developing the websites. Okay, you can also develop your mini project using this object-oriented programming language that has many users, including uh, use it for creating the web applications. Okay. So next is one more. Okay. So this is Japanese technology, okay, for developing the websites, that is Ruby on Rails. So this is also used for developing the websites. It's a server-side programming language which make use of the concept of MVC. Okay. So MVC stands for model, view, and controller. Okay. So model will have database, view have front end, so your front end will display, and controller is used for the connection between your database and the front end. Okay, so that is MEC. So this is also one of the beautiful concepts for developing the website. Okay, you can also go for this language for developing your mini project, that is Ruby on Rails. So you can see the market share. Okay. You can see here maximum share is occupied by your PHP. Okay. Many people develop their website using PHP. You can see the other shares. Okay. JSP, PHP. Okay. 50 million sites, if you see, PHP, most of them are developed using PHP. Okay. So PHP is one of the language which is used for developing. Okay, many people go for PHP for developing the websites. So web server responsibility. So why web servers are used? Okay, what is the responsibility of websites, web servers? They are used for handling the HTTP connections. That means getting the request from the HTTP. Uh, then once it gets a request, it performs certain task and gives a response. Response to the request, okay, HTTP request for static or dynamic resources. Maybe it may be requesting for a file, or it may be requesting for certain data, or maybe requesting for updation of the database. Managing the permissions. Okay, so uh, some part of the websites are not allowed to are not allowed to be accessed by all the users. Okay, so giving the access permissions for accessing the web pages or accessing certain resources. Okay, so some part of the database should not be accessed by all the users. Okay, or only some rows or some tables can only be accessed, or some files can be accessed by the certain users. Encrypting of the data. When you are sending the data from the client to the server, it will perform the task of encrypting or compressing the data. Managing multiple domains and URLs. So in the web servers, you have so many URLs, okay, about us page, home page, so many pages, URLs will be there. So all those things should be taken care. And you'll be having multiple domains. Domains are nothing but, for example, .vct puttur. Okay, so that is one domain. Okay, so similarly, you have Gmail. Okay, so Gmail is a domain. Okay, so similarly, domains. Okay, you can use these domains for creating your email IDs and all. Okay, there will be multiple domains. Web servers are also responsible for managing database connections, managing cookies. Okay, so cookies are nothing but the temporary storage. Okay, so here you can find cookies. So in the web servers, if you see in the settings, if you go, you can see here you will be having cookies. So cookies will be having data, different site information. One example is you will be visiting your shopping site today, and next you will be adding some item to the cart. When you visit the same website next time, okay, maybe after 2 days, it will show that okay, 2 items are there in your cart. So these are the items you have selected previously. So that temporary data will be stored where? In the cookies. Okay. So that will be managed by the web server. Okay. Managing cookies and state, uploading and managing the files. Okay. So web servers also use it for uploading your web pages. Okay. And even managing the files. You can delete the files. Okay. And you can add the files to your websites. So but you can use this FTP for adding the files to the server. You can use FTP protocols. So next comes, okay, we'll be discussing about stack, that is XAMPP stack. Okay, uh, LAMP. Here we discuss about LAMP. LAMP stands for Linux. Okay, so this stack can run on Windows or any other operating systems, even in Mac operating systems, or even in Unix operating systems. You can use this LAMP servers. Okay, so LAMP is a software. Here L stands for Linux operating system. Apache, A stands for Apache Web Server. So here A is having Apache Web Server. And what type of database will be having? MySQL. Okay. and P stands for PHP scripting language. So this can be used for developing your websites. Okay. Web applications you can develop using LAMP. Okay. Now, apart from LAMP, we have WAMP. Okay. WAMP is used for Windows. Okay. Here, LAMP supports Linux. Similarly, WAMP supports W stands for Windows. Okay. So this is only for Windows operating system. And similarly, you have MAMP. Okay. This is for Mac. Okay. And now what you see, it is XAMPP. Okay. So XAMPP here, X stands for all the operating system. Any operating system can use this software. Okay, it may be Windows or it may be Unix, Linux, okay, or even Mac. All operating system can make use of this software for developing the websites, which is having Apache server, MySQL database. It even supports PHP plus Perl language. Okay. So what is Apache? It runs as a daemon on the server. Okay. So you have studied about the daemons. It's an executing instance of a program. Okay. The daemon process is also called as a process that runs in the background. Okay, which doesn't make use of any terminals. Okay, or any front-end resources. So waiting for the specific event that will activate it. Okay, so when a request arrives, the Apache then uses the modules to determine how to respond to the request. So here we are using Apache servers. Okay. So you can see here different modules that you have in Apache. So these are different modules. So here HTTP request comes. Okay. So HTTP request, which is some kind of a request, requesting for a particular page or requesting for a file. So each module can decline serving and request, accepting serving it, or even denying the request from being served by other modules. Okay. So you can give the request to the different modules, which can in turn respond. Okay, you can see here this is a request and this is a response. Okay, so in this 4 modules, we'll be focusing on this module, that is PHP module. So this is a module which is required in Apache for executing the PHP code. Okay, so this PHP code, this module, okay, has 3 layers, that is extension layer, core layer, and Xenth engine. Okay. So interacts with other environments such as MySQL and which function libraries, with function libraries. I'll explain this each layers. Okay. We can see here PHP core layer, what it is having. It will be having, its main job is handling the variables, arrays, string, classes, or any map objects or any other core features. That will be handled by this layer, PHP core. Extension layer. The extension layer is used for interacting with the services outside of PHP. So that means it can be used for interacting with the database. Here it is MySQL, interacting with file transfer protocols or any web servers. Okay, so there are different web servers like SOAP, okay, or REST web services. So and even interacting with XML processing files. One more, we have Xenth engine. Okay, so they are meant for handling the reading in the request of the PHP file, compiling it. That is important. Okay, so Xenth engine is responsible for compiling and executing your PHP code. Okay, so here this is for variable or any handling the data. This is for connecting to the database or any other external file, and this is meant for compiling your PHP code. Okay. So next comes, in PHP it can run in 2 possible modes. Okay. So one is called as pre-proc mode, another one is worker mode, or multi-process and multi-threaded. You can see here this is multi-threaded and this one is multiple process. Okay. So here in multiple process, you will be having individual Apache process, and process is responsible for handling the request. You can see here, for individual process is taking the request. Okay, and in turn they will give you the response. So process is responsible for handling the request. Okay. But when it comes to multiple threaded, okay, each individual process will be having several threads. Okay. I won't go in detail about the concept of thread and process. Okay. You have studied in detail about this in operating system. So process will be having multiple thread, which is a lightweight entity. So each process will be handling the request. As you can see here, each process will be handling, thread will be handling the request and it will be providing the response. Okay. So here, thread will be handling the request, and here in this process will be handling the request. This is Zunc engine. You can see there are different steps which will be having PHP code, then lexical, parser, compiler, executors, okay, and finally the output of the program. So just go through this. So installing, how to install the XAMPP. Okay. So, so you can easily install. Okay, it is available in this. You can go through this. Okay, this is a link. Okay, these are the two links. You can go through this and easily you can download your XAMPP software. Okay, and this is if you are using Mac operating system. Okay, you can use this link for downloading this server. Okay, this software. So both of this package install and configure will be having Apache, PHP, and MySQL. Okay, both are using MySQL database. So this is how the XAMPP control looks. Okay, this is for Apache server. This is for MySQL. So FileZilla. So this is used for uploading your file to the server. Okay, so you can see here. These are the links. Okay, you can go through this settings. Okay, so you can go for the local host or you can type your IP address. Okay. So in the last session, I just showed you about this controls and this local host. Now we'll start with the PHP. Okay. So we already studied few PHP codes in our lab session. Okay. Here, any doubt? So PHP, it is similar to your JavaScript, which is a dynamically typed language. Okay. So we don't specify here your data type. We simply create the variable using dollar symbol. Okay. Even here we have the concept of classes, functions, and all, and different object-oriented concepts are also supported here in PHP, similar to C++, C Sharp, and Java. And here also we have the concept of loops, conditionals, okay, different conditional statements, while loop, if statement, for, okay, and switch statements, assignments of the variable similar to your JavaScript. Differs when to get to the functions, okay, classes, how to define the variables. Okay. So we have already studied. So PHP will be having the extension .php, and all the programming PHP code should be placed within these two tags. Okay. These two tags are used for placing the PHP code. So any code that comes outside this tag, okay, these two tags, this code directly output out to the client. Okay, it's like anything that you write outside of this code will be displayed as it is in the browser. Okay. So this is a simple example showing the PHP tags. So here we have declared a variable user. So this is a PHP code. The one which you see in the red color is a PHP code. and the black one is the HTML. Okay, here you can see, okay, this is one program. Okay, left side is one program, right side is one more. Okay. So here you can see we have PHP code echo $user. So what is $user? It is Randy. Okay, so it will display Randy. Okay, then server time. This is a PHP code. Okay, and whatever you write in double quotes, okay, those are all HTML. And you can see this is a built-in function which is used for displaying the date. Okay, so it is for hour, minutes, and seconds. Okay. So when you execute your PHP code, so PHP code will be converted into, okay, so PHP code is interpreted and executed. So this is how the browser will understand your PHP code. So HTML output from the PHP script. Okay. So this is how your browser will see the PHP code and it will display, okay, the time. The server time is. Okay. So it will display the server time. So this entire code which was there in PHP will be converted into HTML, and this is what will be displayed in the browser. The browser will display the server time is 2 hours 59 minutes and 9 seconds. Coming to the comments, we have this is one way of giving single line comment. If you go for multi-line comments, you can go for similar to the C programming. Okay, this is a multi-line comment. Okay, and this is creating the variables. Okay, this we already saw in lab session how to create the variable using dollar. So dollar count, and you are assigning 42. Apart from this, okay, we have different types of data types: boolean, integer, float, string, array, object. Okay, so you can see here what are the different data types that we have. The variable can store data of different types, and different data types can do different things. So we can store what are the different values you can store. You can declare a variable, and you can have string, integer, floating, boolean, and all. Okay, you can see here. This is string. Okay. This is some integer value. This is float value. You are assigning the variable x with float value. This is boolean. This is again array. Okay, we'll discuss in detail about array. And this is concept of object creation in PHP. And this is how you can assign a variable with a null value. So there are different data types in PHP. And even here we have different constants. Okay, constant value. So you can see here these are all constants. Okay, constants are the one which will never change. Okay, which will never change. It is similar to the constant that we have in C. So you can see these are all uppercase constants. Okay, so they are, you can say it's a built-in constants. Okay, so uppercase for constants in the programming conventions. So this is used for defining the local host. This is used. This is a constant that is used for defining the database name, database user, and this is a constant that is used for defining the database password. Okay. When you are connecting to the database, you will be using these things. Okay. Next, you can see you are connecting to the MySQL database. So here we are telling localhost, database name, what is the username, and what is the password. Okay, this program, similar program, you will be seeing in lab program 10. Okay, where you will be connecting to the database. And this is for printing, okay, output. This also I have said echo statement is used for printing. Either you can go for like this or simply you can place it within double quotes. Okay, you can see here. Okay, hello. This is for concatenation dot symbol. So what will be the output? It is hello. Okay. If you need, you can leave space. Hello world. Okay. So this will be the output hello world. Similarly, you can see here we have two variables VCK and Puttur. Okay. And what will be the output? Be displayed. Okay. So either you can go for this or you can display it like this. And you can see here you are using double quotes, here you are using single quotes. So either you can use double or single quote, they are all equivalent. Okay, they are same. You can use either double quote or single quote. Okay. So here you can see you want to display an image. Okay, this is an HTML code, correct? This is an HTML code. So here you can see, here we are having source which is placed in double quotes, right? So when you are using double quotes, you have to use your single quotes. Okay. Suppose if you are using double quote, okay, then what you have to do, twice you are having double quotes. The browser may get confused and it may join these two double quotes, right? So for that, to avoid that confusion, what you will be doing, you are using backslash here. Okay, when you have more than one double quotes, use backslash. Okay, so two lines are equivalent. In the second example, we are using backslash. Okay, that is used to embed the double quote within a string literal defined within the double quotes. Then we can use with echo, you can use slash n, slash t, double slash dollar, slash double quotes. Okay, so these are all escape sequence. So in the C we have studied escape sequence, right? Similar to that, here also you have escape sequence. So these are some complicated concatenation examples. So here what we do is we are having the image, okay, and here you can see we are using combination of single quote and double quotes. Okay, here we have, this is from here to here. You can go through this example. See here, from here to here it is. Okay, actually, this is what the output. Okay, we are having the image and here having an alternative name. But here, since this is a PHP code, you should be very careful while giving the PHP code. Okay, how you have to place. Okay, here, how you are getting the alternate name. So this is your first name, variable first name. This is your variable second name. Okay, which is there in a variable. Okay, directly you are not specifying these names. Okay, how you have to give, you have to place from here to here. Okay, from here to here you have to place double quotes. Okay, then this concatenation symbol will come. After that, specifying, okay, the variable name, then dot symbol. Okay, then this is for space, then this is a PHP code, again this is your HTML code. Okay, so wherever you have HTML code, you have to place it within double quotes. Okay, this you have to carefully check this. Okay, so one this way you can write, or else you can go for even for this. Okay, this is very simple. So you can, here what we do is we use double quotes. Okay, and here we don't use any dot. Simply we write like this. That is also fine. Okay, and one more way is using backslash. So wherever, okay, inside the double quote, this is your main double quote. Okay, inside that if you use double quotes, okay, inside that if you are using double quote, wherever you are using double quote, place backslash. Okay, so this is one simple. I think these two are very simple. Okay, so here you may have a little bit confusion because you have double quotes, dot and all. This is very simple. Okay, use double quote, and for remaining use single quotes. Okay, here also it is very simple. Use double quote, and wherever you have inside double quote, put a backslash. Okay. So this is one more. Okay. Where you are using, instead of double quote, we are using single quote here. Okay. So if you are using single quote, how to write? Okay, this is one from here to here. You just go through this and try to execute it. Okay, just simply create a PHP file and add this echo statement. Okay, and try to execute this. So if you try to execute that, it will be very clear. Okay. So like this, we have different ways of concatenating the PHP code and the HTML code. So next, you can also use, instead of echo, you can also use printf. Okay. So printf is also supported in PHP. So similar to your Unix also have printf as well as echo, correct? Similarly, here also you have printf. You can also use printf. See here, printf also supports your format specifier. If you are using printf, you can use a format specifier like this. Okay, so this printf statement is similar to your C program. Okay, so only thing is here we are using the variable with the dollar symbol. Okay, so first variable product is of type string, second weight is of type float, and how many you need digits after points, you need two digits after dot. Okay, two precision. Okay, so this is the output. The box is 1.57 pounds. Okay, next we'll go for form controls. So in the form controls, we'll be studying about if statement, if else statement, while loop, do while loop, for loop. Okay, how to include the file. Okay, we saw in 8th program, right, how to include the file. Okay, so all those things we'll be studying here. So very simple. Okay, similar to your C programming. Okay, the PHP code supports if else statement. Okay, if else statement, you can see here. So this is a program illustrating the concept of if else statement. Here you are checking. Okay, you are giving some hour of the day. Okay, for example, you are giving 4. Okay, we are checking whether 4 is greater than 6, and uh, hour of the day 4 is less than 12. Okay, in our case 4 is greater than 6 and 4 is less than 12. Okay, then in that case display good morning. Okay, suppose if you are giving 12, then what will happen? This condition fails. Okay, this condition fails. 12 is less than 12, condition fails. So here it will come for the else if 12 is equal to 12. Yes, this condition is true. So in that case, it will display good noon time. Okay. So for example, if you are going for around 13, you are giving 13. Okay, 24-hour format. See what will happen. So 13 is greater than 6. Yes, condition is true. 13 is less than 12. Condition fails. 13 is equal to 13. False. So it will go for the last else statement and it will display the message good afternoon or good evening. Okay. So this is for 24-hour format. So this will explain how we can use if and if else statement in PHP. Okay, very similar to your C program. So this is one more. Okay. So here this is one code. Okay. This is equivalent to the above code. Okay. So here we are checking user status. Okay, there is a variable. Okay, user status. Okay, you can give it as login, logged in, okay, logged in. Okay, it is a string. Okay, place it within double quotes. Okay, declare a variable or something like this, and you are checking whether your user status is equal to logged in. Yes, it is true. If it is true, then you are going for this page. Okay. You are displaying these two links. Okay. Else you are displaying the link login and URL. So this you can see this is your link, href. Okay, this is also similar, okay, to the previous one, but here you are having this much. Okay, this much here it is PHP, till here, again till here it is PHP. There are till here this is PHP, again this is PHP. Okay, but here this is complete PHP code from here to here. Okay. You can see here wherever you have HTML code, you are placing it within single quote or you are placing it within double quote. Single quote is preferable. Okay. You can place it within single quote. If you are having PHP like this double quotes and all, you can place it within single quote. Okay. So this is similar. Okay. One more example for if else statement. So this is switch statement. We already saw this switch statement in our 8th program, okay, 8th calculator program, how we have used a switch statement for performing different arithmetic operations. So even that example you can give in the exam if they ask you explain PHP a switch case statement with example. That example you can give, or else this is also one more example. Okay. So here we are having a variable art type. Okay. We are checking whether it is equal to PT. If it is equal to PT, assign the variable output using painting, break, or you are checking whether it is equal to SC. If it is SC, display. It is a sculpture. Okay. Break, or you are having a default case here. So default, you are assigning the variable output with others. Okay. So there are three cases. One is PT, SC, and this is the default case. Okay. So this is equivalent code similar to the PHP, but that is using if statement. Okay. So this is if statement. So if statement you are checking whether it is equal to PT, else you are checking whether it is equal to SC, else the last one is we are coming to the conclusion that it is equal to others. So that is about if and switch statement. So next comes while and do while loop. Okay. So these examples are available in the PHP W3 schools. Okay. For all you have different examples. Go through those examples. So this is the example where you are using while loop. So you have a variable count. Okay. So let us see what this program does. So you are checking whether count, whether it is equal to less than 0. Yes, it is less than 0. You have the variable count here. Okay. Count, initially it is 0. Now you are checking whether it is equal to less than 0. Yes, it is less than 0. Display it. Okay. Increment the value. Now it will become 1. 1 is less than 0. Okay. Display that, increment that. Okay. So on, you will be displaying till 9. So you'll be displaying the numbers starting from 1 to 9. Okay. So this is using while loop. Okay. And this is using do while loop. So difference you already know. In the difference is here you are checking the condition and then you are executing the while loop statements. But here what we do, first without checking the condition you will execute the statement and then you go for checking the condition. Okay. Similar to C. Here you can see you have semicolon. Okay. Here also you are displaying the number starting from 0 to 9. Okay. Very simple example. Okay. Explanation you can use same as your C programming explanation. Okay. Same explanation you can give if they ask you in the exam. And even the for loop is similar to your C program. First one is initialization, condition, and increment. Okay. So this is also for displaying the value. So initially it is 0, check the condition. Okay. 1 is less than 10. So on, it will display the value till 9. Okay. So this is alternate syntax for control structure. So here you can see here we are using if statement. Okay. And you can see here we are using else. Okay. So this is alternate structure. You can also give like this also, else colon end if. Okay. So this is one more alternate structure. Okay. It is not here you can see somewhat syntax is different. Okay. We are not using end some curly braces. Okay. You can see here we are using curly braces here. Correct. But here this PHP code. Okay, you can also write it like this also fine, or you can also write it like this also. The both is fine. Okay, this is alternate structure. Okay, so wherever you have curly braces, okay, there you are going for a colon here. See, you can have you are having colon, and here instead of closing, you are having end. Okay, so this is include file. In 8th program, we saw how we have included lib8.php file. Correct, right? We have included a file. So how we have written include and name of the file. Correct. We have given include name of the file. 8lib.php. So this is used for including an external one more PHP file to the already existing PHP code. Insert the content from one file to another. So here in our program we had 8a, okay, 8a program we had 8a.php. So which one we have included? Inside this we had this include statement for including this file. Okay, so we are including one more file, that is 8lib. That is our lab program. Go through that lab program. That also you can give as an example. So you can give one example. For example, matrix addition or matrix subtraction or matrix multiplication. Any one example you can give if they ask you about include file. Okay. So you can see here we have 8 index products. Okay. About us page. All these are including these two files. Okay. We are including database, okay, inc.php and footer inc.php. Okay, we are for these three files we are including the file, database file and footer file. Okay. So this is include statement. You can write it like this, or you can also write it include once, or you can also write required, or this either you can use include or you can also write in required. Okay, required is also supported. Okay, so include warning is displayed. So that is the one benefit. Warning is displayed and then the execution continues. Okay, suppose if we go for require, error is displayed and execution stops. So that is the difference between include and require. Okay. So the next one is functions. How to go for functions in PHP. So in PHP contains small bit of code that accomplishes one thing. Okay. So as in C programming, here also we have two types of function, user defined function and built-in functions. So this is user defined function, and what you see date, it is a built-in function. Okay, so this function returns uh, a nicely formatted string using current system time. So it will display your current system time. Okay, so this is a built-in function. Okay, so now this is your user-defined function. Okay, so this is a function. You can see here we are using function keyword and followed by that name of the function. Okay, similar to the JavaScript. Okay, and here we have different echo statements. Okay, these are all your HTML code, okay, which is placed within single quotes. Okay, we have a div here with the ID footer. Okay, with the ID footer. I don't write those things. Okay, and inside that, what you have? You have two anchor tags. Okay, not two. You have how many? Home, products, about us, and contact us. Okay, 4 links are there. Okay, using anchor tag. Okay. So this is for displaying the footer menu. Try to execute this. Okay. So here what you can do is you execute this function. Okay, and whatever the return value you get, it will be stored in one more variable. Okay. Like this you can do, or simply what you can do is you can display echo and you can call the function. Okay, so whatever the return value you get, it will be displayed. Okay, similar to your lab program. So in the lab program we have called echo counter, right? One program we executed for incrementing the counter. Okay, so that example also you can give if I ask you about functions. Okay, here you can see. So here we have a function with the name get nice time, okay, and you are passing 1, okay, as a parameter. Okay, here you are passing 0, okay, and here when you pass 1, show time is equal to true, okay, so this will print seconds, okay, because 1 is equal to true, 1 will be considered as a boolean, okay, it will be taken as a boolean value. So this true is equal to true, yes, condition is true, okay, 1 will be considered as a true and 0 will be considered as a false, okay. So now if you are passing 1, so 1 is equal to true, yes, condition is true, so it will display this. It will return the date with hour, minutes and seconds. Suppose if you pass 0, it will go for the else case and there it will display only hour and minute, and but it will not display or print seconds. So this is one example. Okay. Next one is parameter default values. Okay. So now if you are call a function with no values, okay, so this function returns nicely the format of the string. Okay. So here we are passing some default values. So there are two ways of passing the parameters. So in C program we have studied pass by value and one more is pass by reference. Okay. So argument can be passed to the function in two ways. Pass by value. So we will discuss pass by value first. Okay. So this is example for pass by value. So initial value is 15. Okay. So output is 15 and you are passing that 15. Okay. So 15 is passed here. So that is value you are passing. So 15 is equal to, so what is that ARG? It is an argument ARG variable, sorry. It's a variable. ARG is equal to ARG plus 300. So what is the value of ARG? It is 15 plus 300. So what is 15 plus 300? It is 315. So that will be displayed. So echo with the break, we are displaying the value of 315. So that will be the output. ARG is equal to 315. Okay. So finally, we are displaying initial is equal to how much? Now you can see here when you are passing only the change to the variable occurs only within the function, but this value will not be changed. Okay, similar concept are similar to your C programming. Okay, only thing is only the parameter passing. Okay, the variable passing differs. Okay, other than that, remaining everything is logic. Everything is same to your C program. Okay, so initial value will not change. Only here, if you are passing here, only it will change and it will display. Okay. Now this is passing by reference. That is, you are passing the address. Okay. So which allows the function to change the content of the passed variable. Okay. Now you can see here. Okay. Here you are passing the value, but you are not passing the address. Correct. Here initial value. Okay. We are passing only the value. So that is 15. Okay. Now here, look at the difference. Okay, here you are passing not just initial value, we are passing the address. Okay, initial, I won't write full, okay, initial, which is with the value 15. Okay, now you are initially displaying the value that is 15. Okay, now you are passing. Now you can see here, the parameter is passed as a reference with symbol, okay, similar to your C program, with the ampersand symbol next to the parameter name in the function. Okay, you are passing the parameter by reference, and here you are adding 300 to that, so it will become 300 plus 15, it will become 315. Okay, that will be that since you are passing it by address, okay, that value whatever it is there will be changed to 315. Okay, so because you are pointing to that address, okay, so which will be pointed and it will be changed to 315. Now you try to display the value of initial. Okay, what is the value? It is not now 15, but it is 315. So that is the difference between call by value and call by reference. It is passing the value, here it is passing the address. Okay. So this is one example. You can see same example. Okay. So this is pass by value. Okay. Argument is having 15. Okay. Initial is also having 15. Argument only will, this variable only will change with the value 315, but this remains 15 itself. But you can see here we are changing this to 315. Okay. Even this will change to 315. Okay. Next one is variable scope in function. So all variables are defined with the function. Okay, variable scope. What is the scope of the variable? Okay. So all variables are defined within the function, such as parameter variable have function scope. Okay. Suppose we are defining a variable somewhere here. Okay. $A. Okay. Then this parameter, this variable will be having function scope, which is this variable is only inside the function. Okay, once you come out of the function, this variable will be deleted or it will be removed. Okay, meaning that they are only accessible within the function. That means this variable, whatever you have within the function, can be accessed only within the function. But if you try to access outside the function, this is not possible. Okay, any variable created outside of the function, okay, in the main script are unavailable within the function. Okay, so here you can see you are trying to declare a variable count with the value 56. Okay, now you are trying to access that variable. Okay, you can see here you are not passing that variable, but you are trying to access that variable. It is not possible to access the variable. Then what it will return? It will zero, it will return, or it will give you runtime error or warning. Okay. Suppose if you want to display the value, then you have to pass it as a parameter at least. Okay. You have to pass it as a parameter. Okay. And now you are calling the function and you are trying to display this dollar count. Okay. Without passing it as a parameter, it will give you error. Okay. But anywhere outside the function, you can display the value of count. It will display you 56. But inside the function, it is not possible to access this variable which is defined outside the function. Okay. Now suppose if you want to access this. Okay. Suppose if you want to access this, then you have to declare this variable count as global. So this is a keyword which should be used. Now you can see the difference. Here it will throw error or zero, but here since you declared it as a global, okay, now you try to access this variable, it will display what? 56. Okay, you can access even outside as well as inside the function. Okay, so these are some examples, okay, which is asked in the exam. Advantages and disadvantages of blindside JavaScript. Okay, this is similar to your lab program. Okay, string growing and string shrinking. Okay, clients and server scripting execution with the need diagram. PHP to greet the user based on the time. That means to display good morning, okay, good evening and good afternoon. What you have to do? So I showed you that program, right? Less than 6 equal to 12 and greater than 12. You can use if statement for displaying messages. Okay. PHP program to display the number, square root, cube root, okay, and quarter root. Okay. Uh, uh, Square root, power function you have to use if you want to display square root, you have to use sqrt function similar to your JavaScript. If you want to display the power, okay, if you want to display 2 to the power of 2, then how you have to do? Power, okay, let me take 3 to the power of 2, then you have to use built-in function power 3 comma 2. Okay, that is will be displaying this 3 power 2. Okay, so this is about complete your third module. Okay, any doubt?